Hey, welcome back to the layout. This video is going to be a review and test of the HO scale Athearn Genesis ES44AC in Canadian Pacific paint. The model we're going to be looking at today is this CP8703. It came factory equipped with Soundtraxx Tsunami II sound decoder and all LED lighting. It's one of the newer runs. So the first thing we'll do is open this thing up and see what comes in the box. So it comes in the standard clamshell packaging. Nothing was missing or broken. Got the warranty information here. We've got the Genesis diesel locomotive operator's manual and sound guides, so it's for the Tsunami II. And then you've got your Athearn Genesis manual here for the GE Evolution series, and just some literature from Athearn. So the first thing we'll do is get this thing out of the packaging, get the foam out of the handrails, and we'll take an up close look at the detail on this model. One thing that's important to note on this release is that this unit's been retrucked with the GE Hiad trucks here. These units were originally delivered with the steerable trucks, so that makes this one like a 2010 and up era. So that's pretty cool if you're modeling modern day power. Alright, so now that we've taken a look at the detail on that model, and also the slow speed crawl there, that was speed step 1, let's put this thing on the kitchen scale and see how much it weighs. So it's weighing in at 541 grams. That's 19.1 ounces. It's a pretty decent weight. Now we'll put it back on the test track here and we'll do a drawbar push and pull test. If you've seen any of the other previous videos, what we do is test it 3 times and then we take the average of the 3. 110 grams. And 110 grams. and 110 grams. So that one's consistent on the drawbar pull. We'll spin it around now and do drawbar push. So that drawbar pull of 110 grams is 3.88 ounces. For those of you south of the border. Here's the drawbar push. $110 grams again, pretty consistent. Again, 110. One more time. And 110. So very consistent drawbar pull and push, 110 grams or 3.88 ounces. So now we'll hop back down to track level, take a look at the function list, and listen to some of the sounds included in the function mapping of this Soundtraxx Tsunami II sound decoder. So here's the functions from the Soundtraxx Tsunami II manual. We won't get too far into it. If you want to really look at these manuals close, there's a link in the video info on where you can download these manuals right from Athearn's website. So of course we got the E-bell, Longhorn, and that horn sounds amazing. One of my favorite horns on any of my models right now. Here's a short version of that. Dynamic brake. Five, six, seven are lighting effects, and we'll look at those next when we look at the lighting. 8's your mute, as usual. F9 says alternative mixer. So that's pretty cool. It actually drops the volume level down. So it's alternative mixer half volume on F9. That's a really cool feature actually. So if you got people over or you want to be able to have a conversation with this thing running next to you, you can turn it down to half volume just by pressing F9, which is really neat. F10 is straight to 8. So it's going to notch up to, so I think it just notches up right to 8. It also says it's the sander valve, I'm not too sure about that. F11 is brake set and release. 13 is your couple uncouple. 12 selects the brakes. 13 is your coupling sound. F14 is a half speed and momentum override. 15 you got a handbrake. 16 is head-end power mode. I'm not sure if that's for passenger units or what. Not featured on this guy. 17 is fuel loading. 18 we've got a general service sequence. 19 takes you straight to idle, so I'm assuming if you're up in notch 8 you can hit that, drop down to idle. 20 is a steam generator, so that must be for passenger units. 21, 22 not used. 23 is all aboard. Ha. That's pretty cool. And coach doors if you have them. 24, 25 are auxiliary lighting effects, if equipped. I don't think we've got on this guy. 26 and 27 are one notch up, one notch down. 28 isn't used, and emergency stop hits the red emergency Mars light if it's equipped, which this model would not be. Alright, next thing we'll do is we'll get up and close with it with the lights turned down a bit, and we'll take a look at the lighting features on this model. So function 5 is the ditch lights. And these are nice and bright in person. They're showing up really bright on the camera there for some reason, but they look good. No light bleed coming out the backs of the housings or anything. And they're a consistent, nice, sunny white color. So those are the ditch lights. And the headlight is on 0 like everything else. Dual headlight, nice and bright, and it's the same color of the ditch lights. No light bleed coming in the cab or anywhere around the nose. Really nice lighting on this unit. Here's a neat shot from a little further away. So we'll spin it around now and take a look at the rear lighting. So these units aren't equipped with rear ditch lights, so we've just got the rear headlights. You got to be in reverse for these to activate, and you hit 0. Similar to the front LEDs, they're a nice sunny white, no visible light bleed, and they're quite bright. Alright guys, well that'll wrap up this review and test of this Athearn Genesis ES44AC. I should have mentioned when we were looking at the detail that this specific model has some CP features that are specific to Canadian Pacific, and those are the nose door with a window. It's got the low number boards, 3-window cab side windows, desktop control stand, Salem air filter, rear brake wheel, low rear sand filler, and a high rear vertical headlight. The road number specific details are obviously the high-ad trucks like I talked about earlier, and it also has PTC antennas on top, which is really cool. So scroll down to the video info to see a full breakdown. So just like all the other reviews that I've done previously, the 5 metrics that we score it on are detail, operation and drivetrain, weight, sound, lighting. The average of those 5 gives us an overall score. So scroll down, check that out in the video info. There'll also be a link on where you can get this from Athearn right off the website there from Horizon Hobby, as well as some links to previous videos if you want to go back and compare this one, say to like the 2012 run of these ES44ACs by Athearn Genesis. So this is a 2020 release, December. This much improved from the old ES44ACs that they're coming with. I mean, you got the LED lighting. The Soundtraxx Tsunami II is awesome. I love that decoder. It just, the prime mover sounds good. The horn and the bell sound really good. The horn sounds like phenomenal. You know, it's just a classic CP Gevo horn. So I really like this unit. One thing too, if you're modeling modern Canadian Pacific like I am, I just quickly flip back to the 2019 Canadian Trackside Guide. Out of 1,395 units on CP's roster, 291 of them are these ES44ACs in various, you know, configurations and eras and stuff. But I mean, anytime you go out trackside and you look at a CP train, pretty much almost a 21% chance that you're going to see one of these things. So they're super common on CP, and I'm still working on kind of getting a fleet of these things for my layout because, you know, 21%, most of my trains are going to feature at least one of these units on it. So really nice model from Athearn Genesis. Can't wait to see what they're going to come out with next. As always, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.